Muy buenas noches to everyone. I hope everybody's doing well and as always enjoying family. Again, Tony, gracias for allowing me to get on the platform. Stories written by a current person to share my stories. And as always, before I start, allow me to please thank everyone for your kind words and for you guys' prayers. I hope you really do know they do mean a lot to me. And before I get into it, I wanna address three comments in this video. You know, I don't mean to make anybody feel disrespect. I am gonna make a recording addressing everyone's questions as I have promised. I just really wanted to answer these three comments. The first one is from at YT Bully. He's basically telling me that I should have never addressed, the guy, one of the guys I killed as a fool, and that I was a fool. And I don't take it as disrespect. I just want to let you know I think you're absolutely correct. Even though at that time it was either him or me or whatever, it should not be addressed. I should not address as him. As so, it's just, fool is one of them words that sticks to us, and it's a bad habit, but in no way, shape, or form did I mean to disrespect, especially, his mother, like I stated, that she's been here for, like you stated, stronger and more than what I wasted my life for. So I think you're correct, 100%. Another one is from at SMT Sporty. Basically, you're asking me, to the things that I've done in the past ever come back and haunt me? More so in those lines, and definitely, I think that's something that I'm gonna have to deal with till I'm still the time I'm alive. I have to accept the fact that they'll be there always in the back of my head. I think that is part of accepting the wrong you did. Having to deal with the affected things. I do it manifests in different types of way at times. Sometimes it's a loss of sleep. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with anxiety attacks. I have to throw myself on the floor, and sometimes I feel like I don't want to eat because I'm constantly thinking about something, and it's part of I guess building up a guilt. Building up a guilt of what is wrong now. Or it should have never happened, but it's just growing as a person. I think, but dealing with them, I haven't learned to deal with them till now. I think that was never going to happen. I think it's just part of carrying my cross. And another note, Sporty, I'm looking forward to talking to you tomorrow to do that one-on-one set. Gracias for your trust. Story, I'm going to basically touch on something I've been talking about in my first videos or mid videos. I can't recall exactly, but it's how it's easier, for a carnal or a pili to go along with all that bad behaving or that shady things that that they do than to go against. And for this one, I'm going to touch on that. That there is good pilis with good intentions towards camaradas, but it just becomes easier to just follow along. You can't fight everyone, I guess you could say it like that. But for this story, I wanna touch up on Alfie and on Babo from Florencia. Those that were around Alfie or were able to meet him and be with him in person know that he had that chip on his shoulder. You know, he always had to look down at camaradas and act like the big boss. And, a lot of people looked at him like he was a hothead, but that wasn't it. If he was a hothead, you know, he wouldn't do a lot of the things he did that I know of. It's just basically what it was. He used to like abusing his power. That was it. But he had a worker in Folsom. They called him Babo, and basically Babo had already picked up a couple hits, as I had stated in a previous video about him. He caught a gang of time for him, but in one of those times, man, when he had sent his sister down and she decided not to do things no more for him because basically he was burning her. um Alfie was pushing that line to where he wanted him hit. He was going to whack him after he had caught so much time for him and everything. But who actually came through and talked for him was Babo, because at this time Babo had a worker from San Jose. They called him Darky at the same yard. So I guess he got a Babo and told him what was going on. And we were still up in Pelican Bay. And you know Babo actually had that, you could say, that talk with Alfie. But it wasn't a talk. It just became a big old thing. And on how you're gonna get in my business, how are you gonna address something that belongs to me, that ego trip they have. But it became a stronger issue when they started telling him, like, hey, you do this behind something that you're doing, and you're gonna open the door for a misunderstanding, to say the least, in different yards. If you guys get what Baba was trying to say by this. So at first, he was still, that guy, that he always was, that, I'm Alfie and I do what I want. And, you know, so he basically came down when, Tablas and at this time, Babo and Chino from El DF were nearby, and Chino spoke up too, like, I believe that was the thing that had Alfie calm down, when Chino actually said, if you start abusing your power, pues, ahí están de muestra los Grajeda brothers, and that's what I think that had Alfie calm down. But this is just goes to show, in my last story, I had not mentioned the camarada's name or anything, but as you guys have seen by one of the comments, it's been 30 years and there's still people from my town that can still recall my my crimes out there, to say the least. And so there's no point of me just keep being in the shadows, I guess. But I'm gonna try to maintain, because I don't do it in any shape or form out of fear. Believe you me, I'm not. I'm in a spot where you know it ain't gonna happen. There's no need for me to ask for any type of help or anything. It's just not gonna happen where I'm at. But I do it because there's other things that come into effect. I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say. One is, I don't think I'm putting my message out correct if I'm glorifying or if I'm addressing things under my name or thing. And the other thing is that, you know, the organization became funny, weak, and basically they go after family, you know, the green light neighborhoods. And but I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there, everyone. And I'm gonna properly introduce myself to everyone. There was someone else that said if I was from Solano, I believe. Solano, Napa, he said, Vallejo, and Santa Rosa. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. And one of those cities you mentioned, that's where I'm from. I'm from the 707 area. But I will shortly here. I'm gonna be introducing myself properly. But I just thought it would be interesting to show you guys. Throughout the years, I came to actually think real respectful towards Babo for that reason. Because he was more about helping camaradas, not breaking camaradas. Like for a long time, he actually had the pull in where I'm from. And I could sincerely say, he wasn't that type of individual that it was only like, to use my name, Paga. He was more on the lines like, okay, you're gonna use my name, that's Firmes, but what are you gonna do? Oh, I want this and that. Pues ahí te va. Make it happen, and we both win. It's different from other Pilis that just to use their names, you're gonna pay them a quota, and they don't extend their hand out, even though they could have that reach to touch you. But they just want to win under just on who their name is. I seen another time where one of Table's workers, which was Ori you know from Florencia, he got into it with a guy that was a nephew of that he was a nephew of Lalo from Lomas, and they were up there in Pelican Bay. And you know, Babo stuck up. He didn't allow Lalo to hit him because it was just not gonna happen. The disrespect came from the other side. But Alfie, man, throughout the years, is just I seen a lot of good camaradas fall because of him. You know, it was just he was just one of those individuals. He ain't really touch his heart for nothing or no one. I remember I seen one time that we were still in Corcoran and he and I have no word there, and he had a couple cellies move on their cellies because he didn't like the way the Billy's there, or more directly how Artie was doing his thing. So Alfie was having cellies move on them. It's just there was something that went around in Pelican Bay, which was that if Babo and Alfie had hit the same yard, uh, people had heard that Babo talking to Tablas and he was gonna move on Alfie because of this. Like I said, they were those type of Billies. For one, they had the numbers to actually push back, and two, they had different beliefs. They had their carnales that at least they have the awareness of what camaradas do for them. They do understand that the camaradas are the backbone, and I'm not glorifying them in any shape or form. At the end of the day, they're part of all negative. Like for example, now that the only one left in the system is Tablas. More than anything, I bet you he's following along with how the program is ran. I mean, look at Popeye. If everybody knows the reason why Popo got taken out, it's exactly because of that. Popo from Harpies used to stick up for camaradas to the point where sometimes, sometimes he would he would actually tax other carnales for doing wrong, threatening them to, you know, to do a council and or a committee to see their actions if they didn't pay the camaradas. He would actually have other members break bread with camaradas for things they were doing wrong. And then you seen the last straw is that they used camaradas to take out Tonito, and he was trying to protect them, so they sent spy to kill them. Which at the end of the day, it could be looked as BS because they wanted his territory, but the fact of the matter is that they used how he used to stick up for camaradas to remove him. But I just think it's funny. I don't know if a lot of you know that, when they got out the shoe, I was in the feds and already, but Alfie and Babo, they had a little thing going where they were having a lot of their workers removed. For example, at this time, Alfie was in New Folsom, and Babo was over here in Solano, and if any Babo workers hit New Folsom, like Darky was there at this time, Alfie had him hit for no reason. It was just cuz. And the same thing if any Alfie workers hit Solano, but Alfie died before Babo, and then everybody knows what happened with Babo. But like I said, I'm not glorifying them because I think that was wrong in itself. Just because a camarada was working for Sus and South Billy, Babo sure not had him whacked. There's just no reason to. But it's just something really really hard to put into words. How to difference them. I think they're all a part of something that there's no need for, to be sincere. And I know I sound like a hypocrite, or however you want to say, that I spend more than man I spent more than 20 years, doing what I had to do as a sureño, though, and here I am, but facts are facts. It's just, I think those youngsters should really open their eyes towards wanting to come in and please these people. I wasted my life. Like this comment that I stated, I wasted my life. I put in all this negative work for these people, and at the end of the day, was it worth it? Nah. Towards the end, and it ain't worth it. I'm gonna be addressing everyone's comments better in my next video. I don't know if you guys could hear me. I'm having one of them dias, where I can't breathe. I'm not aware if Tony has put out and informed you guys, but I was since Friday. I was in the hospital, really bad. So it's just I'm having a little bit of issues, but it'll be okay. So before I end this video, I do apologize if I don't make a lot of sense of what I was trying to put out there. It was just basically a little bit on how there was carnales that stuck up for camaradas. I'm, like I said, I'm not on here to spread poison. There's no good in that organization, period. No matter how carnales are, good or bad, right? At least towards camarada, towards raza, there ain't none of that. And I'm not glorifying it. I just don't want people to be on here thinking that I'm on here spreading poison towards them and that it's all negative, because it's not. There was, but there's very few left of them. As you guys know, Toñito gone, Popeye gone, Babo gone, there ain't too many left, So, but keep an eye. Be smart, youngsters. Just be aware that whatever, all you do and what counts is on the streets, man. It's alongside your family. Inside, all you're gonna get is heartache and man, and you know, wasted life. That's it. But again, if I don't sound correct, I'm really having really bad problems breathing, as you guys could probably hear by the way I'm speaking. So I will go ahead and conclude this one with you guys. I hope I made sense again. And like I always said, please, value yourself and, you know, treasure your loved ones. Just do know that if you respect yourself and you love your loved ones, man, you can't go wrong, At least in how I went wrong. Muchísimas gracias, mi gente. I hope everybody's doing well again. And please stand by for tomorrow. We're gonna, in hopes, have our first sit down with someone to share their stories and see if we can actually expand a little more on the message I'm trying to put out. And for that person that wants me to talk to their kid, Tony in one of the comments, and not in my last video, but the one before, he has put out the email to contact. Please contact, and like I stated, it'll be an honor. Buenas noches again. Gracias.